And there you have it. Serie A, Milan. They got top. They got top of the Serie A, actually, funnily enough. They got top of the Serie A, but of course it all depends on Roma, Napoli, Inter tomorrow. I think the number one positive, because I'm going to try and merge this video into 3-4 different segments. We'll talk about the game. We'll talk about, I don't know, the players. And then we'll talk about Milan as a review, let's say, of a quarter of a season. I feel like it's fair to say game week 11, it's been just above a quarter of a season. So Milan got top of the Serie A. I think the number one positive is, and I feel like this is how every Milan should look at it, is the fact that Milan, a quarter into the season, they're in good territory, shall we say. They're in a good position. Now, regardless of whether or not tomorrow they drop second or they drop third or they drop fourth, you could see since the start of the season, Milan are in the territory of 1, competing for a Scudetto, 2, if not, competing for Champions League football. And I'll be honest with you guys, at the moment, there's a lot of positives regardless of the scoreline today. That's a positive, just speaking on the season as a whole. When it comes to the match against Parma, very difficult place to go to. Anybody that participates in the predictions league, you always know, whenever I include Parma in the fixtures, I always say the same thing. Difficult place to go to. That Sergio Cuesta dude, kudos to him. They're not doing that well, in terms of league position, but they are one aggressive team. They fight for the badge. They give you 150%. And going away from home to their ground, I think Allegri's looking at it and thinking, phew, got that one out of the way. Got that one out of the way very early on in the season. Now, the game ends 2-2. Shall we, talk about the goals? And then we'll talk about, some players and who stood out, who didn't, who impressed me. There's something that I saw which I really, really, really like. I'll speak about it today, but I'm also going to dedicate a video to it during the international break. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. I told you guys, the road to 30k starts today. Well, no, it started last week. Anyways, 2-2. Milan, they go 1-0 up Salamakers. I think Salamakers had an amazing performance. As much as I might say something that you guys might not like, I think Salamakers, for the first time this season, he actually pissed me off this season. There was a little segment where he really annoyed me. Salamakers, I think he was amazing. And I think Salamakers has been a staple in that bracket of being amazing, of being a standout performer, of hands down, being the number one starter in Milan's starting 11. He's been amazing. You could seriously make a case he's been one of the best players in the Serie A. I could seriously make a case he's been one of the best players in the world, period. Because if a player can give you 7, 8 out of 10s week in, week out, and he's chipping in with goals, he's chipping in with assists, he's helping the team tactically so well, he's helping the team off the ball, on the ball, listen, you seriously can say he's been one of the best players in the world. Salamakers makes it 1-0. Nice strike. I'll be real, he receives the ball. Parma have sat back. They're not really offering much space. Odd drop of the shoulder. Gets it on his left peg. Low, hard into the corner. 1-0 Milan. And I was looking at it and thinking, listen, this is what you need. This is what you need away from home to Parma. Very hostile atmosphere. Very hostile atmosphere. Silence the crowd. You know what I mean? Sometimes kill the sting of a game. How do you kill the sting of a game? Go 1-0 up. It's the best way to do it. They go 1-0 up. Then Milan get themselves a penalty. Once again, Salamakers involved. Earns himself a penalty, dribbling past 1, 2, 3 players. Gets fouled. Rafa Leao. Hey, Leao. I think that was a monster performance. Outside of the goal, it was an amazing penalty. To be, when I saw Leao go to the same corner as Suzuki, and I think Suzuki saved the penalty 1 or 2 weeks ago, I was like, But then I looked at it and I was like, hey, low, hard, good placement. Good penalty by Leao. Very, very, very good. At the moment, he's telling Allegri, listen, I'm your number one penalty kick taker. When I miss, we can have a conversation. But at the moment, I'm the number one chief in town. Milan go 2-0 up, and I swear I was looking at it and I was thinking this game might end 2-0 because Milan defensively are so strong. They're so resolute. They're so aggressive. They might just see out the game. But Parma is such a difficult place to go to. Eventually, they make their way back into it. I'm going to be real. The commentator was saying things oh, it comes down to desire and how much you want the ball. I understand it's a 50-50 shoulder-to-shoulder barge, but I just felt that was such an aggressive barge. It didn't even look like a barge from the replay that I saw. It looked like 50% shoulder, 50% back. But at the same time, Estupinian, I feel like he was a little bit complacent. He was a little bit nonchalant because even when I was looking at the replay from another angle, you could see the Parma player is sprinting. Stupinian is more semi-sprinting, semi-jogging. I think he didn't anticipate that this person was going to literally go into the back of him and get the ball. When it comes to the goal, I'm going to be real. Sometimes you just have to credit a goal. ridiculous. Do you know how ridiculous? To get it in the top corner on your left peg, it's an amazing strike. It's truly an amazing strike. I was looking at it and thinking, no problem. They're going to throw the kitchen sink. Milan will catch them on the counter. Then it goes 2-2. I think we could seriously make a case like Estupinian was partially to blame for both goals. I feel like the first one, the lack of anticipation, the lack of hunger and determination from his end to just let the ball go out of play, put his body on the line. If you realize there's a guy coming in, clamping into you, no problem. Go in for the 50-50 women, but you have to make sure I come out on top. He never came out on top. For the second goal, he gets turned once again down Milan's left-hand side. The cross comes in. Funny enough, cross at the near post. It goes 2-2. Now, this is, let's just say, where the review starts. I think after when it went 2-2, Milan seriously had opportunities to win the game. Number one, they had, I can't remember it in what order, but number one, they had a Christian Pulisic off the bench, one-on-one, he missed. Then they had a Salamakers, one-on-one, he missed. Then there was an opportunity where Luka Modric fed it into Salamakers and he tried to go for a flick. He didn't connect with it. He missed. Now, what really annoyed me today about Salamakers, as much as I feel like he was amazing, like I think Salamakers today, I could seriously make a case for being one of his best performances of the season, but I feel like he's missing the cherry on top of the cake, if you know what I mean. Like it's a nice cake. Don't get me wrong. Give me a slice. Give me and my family a slice. Let me take one for my granddad back home. It's a nice cake, but it could have been nicer. And how could it have been nicer? I don't know. Maybe I'm old school. Maybe I'm very old school. Even though, like, I do love the aesthetics. I do love the skills and the tricks. I don't like it when dudes go one-on-one and they dilly-dally and they try and, like, make it too fancy. And this has always been my criticism of somebody like Leao. Like, I remember last season, especially during the Champions League, I was like, Leao, sometimes you get yourself into such dangerous opportunities, but you always want to chop inside. You always want to drop the defender to the floor. And after you drop them to the floor, rather than shooting, you want to drop them once again. Like, I don't know if any of you guys remember, a few years ago when Leao got the ball off the left-hand side and he carried it. He dribbled past like 2, 3, 4 players. I can't remember what game it was, but it was in the Serie A. He dribbled past like 2, 3, 4 players. He beat the keeper and then he tried to like backheel it into the net. Oh, if you guys remember what I'm talking about, you will know exactly. Like, Leao has those tendencies where it's like he doesn't simplify the game. If anything, he makes it more and more difficult for himself. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're winning 5-0, go for it. But you see when Salamakers went in one-on-one, I'm just thinking, if I was a coach, I'm telling him, brother, you pull the trigger. Like, you're in one-on-one. The defender has tried to phase you out, but listen, you've maintained balance. You're in one-on-one. Just line up your body, whether you're left-footed, right-footed, whether you want to dink him, whether you want to try give him, whether you want to try fool him with your eyes and go in between his legs, whether you want to go around him, whether you just want to place it into the far corner. I was looking at Salamakers and I was like, brother, make up your mind, get it on your strong foot, pull the trigger. If you miss, so be it. At least you had an attempt on goal. I didn't like, even though in the end he finally did shoot, I feel like the chopping inside, beating the keeper, then the chopping inside, beating the defender, and now you have to regain the composure, and now you have to align your body in a sense to have a shot. I feel like he just wasted too much time and invited too much pressure. I don't know, am I being like pedantic, shall we say? Like, am I being over the top? Am I being like harsh? Because I was looking at it and I was like, if I was a coach, and you go in one-on-one, brother, we're in desperate times. Pull the trigger. Make this opportunity count. And so many times I see players just like overcomplicate some of the most simple of things. And I was like, you know what? Salamakers, I reckon if you just ran onto it on your left foot, wrapped it around the keeper, I think you would have scored. Salamakers, if you had just taken it on your stride and gone around the keeper, maybe you would have scored. But you just invited so much pressure. Cool, you beat the keeper, you beat the defender, but you wasted so much time that a defender made its way back in. Very similar to like the one that Modric gave him and he done a little flick. And I'm looking at it and thinking, brother, like you got the ball in an area where you seriously could have controlled it and had a shot on goal, but you went for the fancy goal. I don't know. That type of stuff really annoys me because I'm like time and place. And I feel like Salamakers got it wrong, but I don't want to make him sound like the weakling because I think without him today, Milan don't win. Milan don't get a draw. I think he was amazing. The final thing that I said to you guys, I really want to speak about and I really want to praise it because for me, I liked it. Like, I really, really, really liked it. I, like said at the beginning of the season, the only time I ever saw Pulisic and Leao together was like pre-season. But like, we never really saw it like with much chemistry, let alone with consistency because Pulisic ended up getting injured. I like what I saw today. I like it. I'll be real. I really, really, really like it. Like, I genuinely was looking at it because like me, in terms of my own opinion, like I've always felt like in order to create freedom for like the drifter man, in order to create freedom for the second striker, the other striker has to actually go and occupy centre backs. And that's why I always looked at like Pulisc and Leao and said, you know what, you two both want to play the game in the same way, so maybe you do need the focal point, hashtag nose tape Santi Jimenez. But I was looking at it today, and I'm going to be real, I was like, you know what, these two, they're so similar to one another in the way they like to play the game. They both like it to defeat. But do you know where I think it can work? Like when you look at Pulisic's one-on-one, I think it was so well crafted, that move. Because you could see both of them like the ball to feet. But the problem is, no, sorry, it's not a problem. It's an amazing thing. Sorry. They both like the ball to feet, but both of them are so technically elegant on the ball where they can easily just spin off centre-backs. They can do those little intricate 1-2s, flicks around the corner. And because they've got the speed to actually run onto a pass, I think those two together, like I'm so looking forward to after the international break, because in that little snippet of like 10, 15, 20 minutes, I saw so much from those two together where I was like, as much as I feel like you two play the game in a similar way, but I feel like collectively you guys bring something far better than Santi Jimenez, than Santi Jimenez, Leao, Santi Jimenez, Pulisic, and Nkunku, Leao. I think those two, it looked good. Like it really, really, really looked good for that short amount of period of time. Listen, Milan draw. It's a tough place. I'll always maintain that. Like in my opinion, if you were to ask me now, what are the most tough grounds to go to in the Serie A? I would always say Parma. Parma for me is so tough. 2-2 draw. On another day, they win 3-2. On another day, they might win 3-1. My main point that I said at the beginning of the video, I think Milan are in good hands, like in good territory. They can easily drop off like after the international break, but I don't think so. I think there's too much quality. There's too much hunger. And you know what it is? It's not really a young team. Like, it's a relatively old team in age. And I think a lot of these players are not trying to waste this season. Like, they want to get back into the Champions League. There's a World Cup around the corner. They're all trying to impress. I don't look at this game and think, hey, Milan are in trouble. I just think it's another setback. But at the same time, it is a tough place to go to. But I just think after the international break, like you guys have to bear in mind, ever since the last international break, Rabiot hasn't played a single game. Ever since the last international break, Estupinian's only played one game, and it was today. And you could see, like, he's now missing that match sharpness, that fitness. Like, any confidence that he had built at the start of the season, it's now gone. So he now has to work his way up. Like, since the last international break, Milan have missed what? Pulisic, this is his first game. How many games did they play since the last international break? I believe about what? 5? Maybe 5, 6? Pulisic, 1 out of 5. Estupinian, 1 out of 5. Rabiot, 0 out of 5. These guys are staples in this team. After the international break, Rabiot reclaims his spot. Estupinian reclaims his spot. Pulisic reclaims his spot. But now, he reclaims his spot not with nose tape Santi. No, he reclaimed his spot with a Rafa Leao, who I'm so sorry I've left him towards the end of the video. I think he was amazing. I think Leao was so good today. The hold up, the link up, the flicks. I think he had a very, very, very good performance. Scored a penalty, but I really like Leao's performance today. But listen, I will do you guys a well broken down video during the international break. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. I hope you guys have a good international break with your families, with your loved ones. And I will catch you guys on another one.